All right, friends, here we are. It's episode number 673 of Location Weekly. As you can see, if you're watching the video, I'm with Karsten, and we are in Singapore. Just below us there is the harbor, so you can see all of the ships out there and the gardens, some famous landmarks here in Singapore. So we're excited to be here. We are here for the National Retail Federation's big show in Asia, the first time that they're doing this. We're at the Convention Center at Marina Bay Sands. We also had a LVMA meetup last night, first time since COVID. We're back here in Singapore, so it's great times. Good to reconnect with everybody, see what's happening in this part of the world, and I think it's a lot of exciting opportunities ahead.
Absolutely. So just underwrite what Steve says. So it's a great time here in Asia. Very different in terms of how you run your business. We learned a lot yesterday during our Reconnect event about the market and the special situation we find in the market. So really looking forward to the next days. It's amazing to be here. Yeah, thanks to record the podcast from the Sky Deck here at Marina Bay Sands Bay. So it can be worse.
Could be worse, yeah. So we'll be back here in a few minutes with our stories for this week and discussion about some of the retail innovations that we're seeing in this part of the world. So, all right, thanks. All right, so again, we're here at NRF Asia for the big show, first time in Singapore, there's been a bunch of interesting booths and technologies that we've seen already. We were at the Farmany booth this morning, and we were lucky enough to have a visit from the second Prime Minister to the booth and to showcase the technology there. So I think that was pretty interesting. Any thoughts about that?
Absolutely, just it's an honor to have such a delegation at our booth, and lastly seeing how they operate and also how they treat their the government workers at the end. So big attaché, security guys, very well trained, and very short period of time just to make the pictures in the right way. But he was interested in augmented reality and he understood the stuff, which was great to see. So that was fine, and always it's like this piece of honor. This is what it makes it really a special event for us. So super thankful. But in general, I think it's kicking off the NRF here. It's a good start. Having the experience now the first 2 hours, 3 hours on the show, it's like there's something different from North America in the market here, and also in terms of the exhibitors behave. More retailers, more decision makers on site, maybe because this is the first time they run the show. So a lot of people are digging into that and say, let's have a look. Yeah. Well, overall, so far so good, but let's see the next 2 days.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe just to pick up from what you just said, I think one of the announcements, we covered it on the podcast a few weeks ago, but there's a big collaboration here between the Singapore Tourism Board and Google around AR and from a travel experience point of view. There's a lot of things to see in this city, the gardens, the Marina Bay Sands itself, many attractions. And so, in the Google sort of app directly, you can sort of unlock these AR experiences and kind of, get a different visual layer of what's going on. Any thoughts on that from your point of view?
Especially great to see how big enterprises like Google are now connecting the dots, having it before separate and now integrating in existing services. And that's what we saw more and more in our industry, location based. So we have a map. But the map is only something worse if there is some content in there we can use. And by adding augmented reality, you have the chance to have an interactive experience on site, which is not easy to handle on a website because you're already outside. You can experience live what's going on there, and so I think it's a no-brainer to use augmented reality in kind of navigation systems or guiding systems because you enrich the real world with something it should be there or was there in the past. So looking very forward to see that.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so one of the news announcements that came out today at the conference is a research study from Manhattan & Associates. So Manhattan does a lot of work in retail with big brands like Uniqlo and Adidas and Charles & Keith and many others. So we're going to kind of just talk about some of the findings from this study today and just have a few thoughts on that. So first, when it comes to finding deals, finding stores, the search and discovery aspect of it, they say that 60% of shoppers have indicated that they're likely to have a repeat purchase with a brand after a personalized shopping experience and in situations where there's real-time inventory data. What are your thoughts?
Well, biggest pain point is if you don't have the inventory data, you may get into out of stock situations. So you have to hold what you promise at the end of the day. And if you go to a stop and want to search for something and it was online available, you're there, it's not there. So it's a typical thing of the out of stock situations. But if this is fulfilled and personalized for you, say, hey guys, this item is collected for you, especially we reserve it, something like that. It's personalized for you because of your behavior or what you tell the brand before. That's a great way, and this is where it comes to a success story at the end.
Yeah, and I think from a location data perspective, we talked just a couple weeks ago actually on the show. Ariana and I were talking about a company called Retailigence, which has been around forever. And these were one of the pioneers in real-time inventory data from a long time ago. It's still active today. And I think what I said then, and I think it's still true now, is that it's one thing to deliver these personalized offers or experiences. Here's a coupon, here's a deal on something that let's say you've been waiting to buy this thing.
Yeah.
This jacket or this whatever, and now you get this personalized offer about that. So you get excited, right? You're creating this sort of hope. I'm going to get the thing I want. I'm going to get a good deal, a good price on that. But then if you go to the store and the thing is not available, it's out of stock, now this great experience that was created by this personalization becomes a bad experience. So I think the two have to go sort of hand in hand with each other.
Absolutely, and also what we see more and more connecting the dots in technology. So these pure standalone systems by inventory management in store are now opening up more and more to new kind of sensors, new kind of data models behind the sensors, and this is where AI can bring the real value in the market by seeing predictive sales and analytics. And as you say, in your data company you're running, I see if it's just like, if we know how many people come, then I can make a prediction out of it, how many items I will sell, so get a clearer view on those stock situation on site is now possible, but it's no longer a standalone system, so it has to be combined with all the systems you're working with at the retailer. And now all the APIs are more or less done, so there's no excuse longer not to do it. Because when we were talking first time about that, it was like, oh, here's the Zillow, another data platform, I can solve your problem here and there, but it was not connected. And this is what we see more and more, and it helps to drive that.
Okay, good. So going back to the Manhattan study, so the next thing is on the e-commerce side, talking about checkouts and cart abandonment. So they say 43% of shoppers surveyed prefer a swift, convenient checkout process, with the majority of the cart abandonment coming because of just bad experiences, or it's taking too long to fill out all the information and so on. And they reference Nike as an example. So they say, they have a single-step checkout option where you click on the button and it just pre-fills all your information at once. You don't have to do anything manual. I think for me, I agree with that from a convenience perspective. I think there's maybe hesitation for some portion of the consumer population where in order to do that, that means I have to store my data somewhere, and there's the privacy issues and so on. But for me, at the end of the day, convenience wins over having to this data is needed for many things, right? And I think if we can simplify that, I know, for example, both of us travel a lot. I'm booking flights, I'm flying Air Canada all the time. They have my information. So if I go and I log in to my account there and I go to book a flight, they're pulling everything. My passport's there, Nexus is there, everything's there, right? So I think this convenience wins for me over abandoning because it's taking too long.
Yeah, and also we learned it now. It's about trust and what happens at the end. Yes, there are bad stories about fraud and things, but honestly, I don't know your listeners, watchers, how often you had this situation and how many of your friends had the situation. I have literally just one person in my entire network were heavily frauded by something once, and then the issuer of the card take care of it, and was not a big deal at the end. So I think convenience, yes, and they all win at the end if it's come to a faster and quicker, convenient shopping experience, because nothing is more nerve-wracking if you have to wait for something. And being in Asia and just reflecting last week out in Ho Chi Minh City, where we spent with our longtime friend Christian Geisendorfer from the LBMA here. So this instant delivery, instant payment. I want to have something. And you ordered a shirt.
I ordered a shirt.
Yes.
It was delivered within an hour.
Within an hour, the shirt was delivered by a driver in the into the office building. So why you should wait for payment process and setting up an account. It's getting more and more digital, and we're struggling still with old systems. So data storage and also setting up the bank accounts and how they manage that. It's getting better, but it still feels uncomfortable. So experience opening a bank account online in Europe, in Lithuania, was quite easy. It was 3 minutes. So just scan my passport, opening a bank account, having a prepaid credit card delivered to my phone instantly. I can upload this, and other banks need weeks to send me those kind of things. So this is a big gap between high digitalized countries and environments and low. So yeah, convenience wins, and trust is needed, but honestly, what is the risk?
Yeah.
So that's always a
There's
question.
no risk.
It is not no risk.
It's
but
very low.
It's very low compared to the convenience you get out of it. So yeah, I agree. But I can understand if someone does not want to give away his personal data. So don't misunderstand me on that one. But
All right, let's talk the last topic here. So a little bit about AI now. So they say that, according to the same study here, 74% of consumers are valuing AI-driven recommendations. Retailers, need to continue to evolve in this direction, and they say also that the use of AI in driving, product recommendations, personalized recommendations, is something that in this part of the world, anyways, is something that people are quite comfortable with.
yeah, and even more, it's where this journey starts. So we met yesterday at our LBMA event, a bunch of very interesting people, and one guy is running a company, actually he's the CEO of it, very successful. They are creating landing pages for to get rid of search engine optimizing. It's a big market, so a lot of agencies are around and optimizing their websites. What those guys are doing is they generate automatic landing pages for the thing you're search for. And this kind of instance, so you get the information, there's a customer searching for something, the AI is putting together the pieces and connecting that, and building a landing page within 2 minutes. You showed it me live, which is 100% a fit for what the people are searching, which gives you a ranking which is much more higher, and then you have the first step, and then it comes to recommendation out of it. So first understand what the people are searching for, what their need is, what is black jacket combination, for example, and then it pops up, okay, here is an interview with this guy, a black jacket combination existed, blah, 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 and then you can follow that steps and go into an instant sales approach on that landing page. By recommend something is generated by an AI, and this gentleman who was just giving the statement how to dress is not existing. It's an AI who wrote that because it fits for something. And underwriting this. Yes. Is that scary? I don't know. Are we all look the same? Yes, we do, because we're buying all the same shirts, all the same brands because we find it cool. Is it dangerous? I don't know. Actually, I think there will be more creativity in the market than had been before, because if you look at the fashion industry especially, those people are producing for mass markets.
Yes.
We all wearing the same shirts. We both not anymore because we had this tailor shop in Vietnam, but the artists are wearing the same labels and same brandings, and it is how it works.
Yeah, and I think to comment on that, I would say that what I see now is this opportunity where, it kind of bringing the AI and this idea of personalization together into one. If you look at it from a fashion point of view, there's no reason that we shouldn't, the computer, the models shouldn't be able to say, okay, these are the things that Karsten is interested in. Let's make a shirt that incorporates that's personalized for you.
I'm in.
That's different for me, right? We did that, with our own human power in Vietnam, where we went to this, tailor and had shirts made, or I had this jacket made, for example, like where, the lining is a map of the world because we're the location guys, you know what I mean? But that's something I chose, that was available in that particular shop to do that. Whereas, using AI, we should be able to have these kind of things just created for us and then decide whether we want them or not. So I think there's a lot of possibilities ahead.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's our show for this week. You've been listening and watching episode number 673 of Location Weekly. We thank you for your time. And we look forward to, if you are in Asia, there's lots ahead. We've been having all kinds of conversations about what is yet ahead for us here in Singapore. I had a meeting today about bringing the LBMA to Taiwan and Hong Kong again. Obviously, we already operate in Japan and in Australia, so I think lots ahead here. So if you are in this part of the world, please reach out to us on how you can get involved, how you can help out. We would love to just include you in that network. And obviously, if you're part of what we're doing in North America or in Europe or in South America, there's lots of opportunities there too. Please reach out to us. Thank you again for your time. We'll see you next week. We'll be back in North America with a show from there. And then I think we're in Europe, right? The week after. So.
The week after is our annual president's meeting. That's it.
All right. Well, take care, everyone. Have a good time.
Bye. Thank you very much, guys.
Bye.